Lake County is home to hundreds of beautiful lakes and streams, from the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness in the north to Lake Superior in the south. Our shared water resources support diverse plant and animal life, provide drinking water to our communities, and allow for abundant recreational and economic activities. To keep our water resources healthy and clean for the future, and to identify potential problems within our watersheds, Lake County Soil and Water Conservation District carries out periodic surface water monitoring as a part of the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's Watershed Restoration and Protection Strategies process. There are 80 major watersheds in Minnesota, 5 of which lie within the boundaries of Lake County. The Lake Superior North and South, Cloquet River, and St. Louis River watersheds all drain to Lake Superior, while the Rainy River Headwaters watershed drains to Lake of the Woods and ultimately to Hudson Bay. Every major watershed within Minnesota undergoes a 10-year process that begins with intensive water monitoring. Monitoring is followed by data analysis and investigation into potential problems. Strategies to restore and protect water quality are then developed. Finally, projects and goals are implemented through local water plans on an ongoing basis. After the 10-year cycle is complete, it begins again at the beginning. When we go out monitoring on a lake, there are several pieces of equipment that we take with us. A sonde is an instrument that we use to measure temperature, dissolved oxygen, pH, and conductivity. It has a head unit where we can read and record our measurements. It has a long cord, and on the end of it are the probes. We lower the probes into the water 1 meter at a time until we reach the bottom. That way we can put together a depth profile for the lake. A Secchi disc is a round white disc connected to a cord that's marked in feet, and it's used to measure water clarity. To take a measurement, we lower the disc down into the water until we can't see it anymore. We note the depth and then pull it up slowly until we can see it again. We note the depth again and then average the two numbers to get our final measurement. Some lakes have what's called tea-stained water. The water has a reddish tinge, which is caused by natural tannins in the environment. Although the color is harmless, it can occasionally cause water clarity measurements taken with a Secchi disc to be lower. This is always something to keep in mind. We also bring with us a 2-meter integrated sampler. It's basically a long tube with stoppers on both ends. We lower it straight down into the water to take a sample. It allows us to collect water from the top 2 meters of a lake, which gives us a better representation of the lake's chemistry than a grab sample at the surface would. We use the 2-meter integrated sampler to fill our sample bottles, which we then send to a lab for analysis. There are many parameters that we might test for, depending on our goals, but typically we sample for chlorophyll A, which is a pigment from photosynthesizing organisms, and total phosphorus, which provides us with a direct measurement of the lake's productivity. Together, Secchi depth, chlorophyll A, and total phosphorus help us determine the trophic status of a lake. An oligotrophic lake has low levels of nutrients and productivity. Algal growth is minimal and dissolved oxygen may be high. Oligotrophic lakes may have high-quality drinking water and may support fish such as trout. A mesotrophic lake has intermediate levels of nutrients and productivity. Mesotrophic lakes may have clear water with submerged plants. A eutrophic lake has high levels of nutrients and productivity, supporting plants and animals. Algae or plants may dominate the ecosystem. Hypereutrophic lakes are very rich in nutrients and may experience frequent algal blooms and low water clarity. Occasionally, water monitoring leads to the classification of a lake or stream as impaired. Impaired means that it's not meeting the water quality standards set for its designated uses, such as recreation, consumption, or supporting aquatic life. There are a number of lakes in Lake County that are impaired for mercury in fish tissue, and so consumption guidelines should be followed when eating fish from those lakes. To view a comprehensive list of impairments, you can check out the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's Impaired Waters list on their website. If you're interested in viewing water monitoring results from a lake or stream, you can visit the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's website and use their map-based search tool to find a given water body. Clicking on a point on the map will bring up a dialog box with the lake or stream's name, and from there you'll be able to view or download monitoring data collected at that site. If you'd like to learn more about the water quality of an entire watershed, you can look up individual watersheds on the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's website. Each watershed has its own page with a summary, and you can scroll down to find the Monitoring and Assessment Report, which is the document resulting from intensive water monitoring and analysis. Intensive water monitoring takes a lot of time and effort, and we simply aren't capable of monitoring every lake and stream. That's why we need volunteers who live on a lake or stream or are willing to travel to one to take SECI measurements throughout the warmer half of the year. In the absence of water chemistry data, SECI measurements provide a wonderful estimate of trophic status. Volunteer-collected data is used to analyze long-term trends in water quality. If you're interested in becoming a water monitoring volunteer, check out the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's Citizen Water Monitoring page. You can sign up online and you'll receive training materials and a SECI disc or tube. If you have any questions, you can contact us at Lake County Soil and Water Conservation District, and we can help get you set up.